Okay, says we're live. So hello, welcome. Apologies for being slightly late. I was taking down the majority of these stickies in order to get ready to reset for quarter 3. So I've decided to leave some of these up here just as indicators for this one as to where I'm starting for quarter 3 for that goal, which was my reading goal. So I have to go back through and check and update my reading journal to see if I hit this one, which I think I did. And then this is sort of like a continuing goal because I did not focus on it as much as I would like to in this past quarter. So I'm going to try again next quarter. But yeah, so today I have my scrapbook paper in my protective sleeves so I can do my sticky notes and then transfer them to the Kanban board instead of going back and forth a bajillion times. So that's what I'm going to be doing for part of today, or for, let's be honest, probably a decent amount of today's stream, is getting set up for July. I also did my July, I know I started doing the July bullet journal setup thing at the end of Friday's session. I thought I was going to do like a letter to myself situation, decided to do just a quote page, which I still haven't finished the quote, but in the hubbub of it all, I forgot to do it like a full calendar spread, but we'll see if that works or if I need to add one at the end of the like weekly pages. Anyway, so I went with the yellow sunflowers and roses theme with blue and sort of like mustardy gold writing. So there's my little mini calendar. Here's the page for the quote once I get there. And then this is what my weekly / daily is going to look like. So I have the week at a glance up top for just like events. You can see I've written in like I have a car appointment. If that's going to focus, it's not going to. But anyway, on Tuesday morning. And then I'm just going to do kind of like I did with January and February. I'm going to go back to that sort of daily style where I have sort of like, I just mark off what we're doing. I may not have animal stickers, but we'll see. We'll see what we get there. So yeah, January. So I'm going to go back to that and for a month and see if I still prefer it. If I prefer it with a sort of like week at a glance situation. So I've got those pages set up. Yay. So there's that. Why am I out of focus again? Let's see if this will bring it back into focus or not. Apparently we need white. Yay. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I don't know. We may just have to pretend that it's going to focus on me at some point. Who knows? Anyway. Oh, congrats, Becca. You're officially done with school. Yay! You don't think it's second? Yeah, definitely. You're probably going to find yourself like on Saturday, Sundays going, I feel like there's something due. But it's not. So, okay, let's go ahead. I need to put up the elemental mage for today. Pick an elemental mage. So earth / gravity and air / wind, maybe. We'll figure it out. Present, share screen, share screen. We're still not in focus. Apologies, y'all, for the bad YouTubing. Maybe it'll focus, maybe it won't. I don't know. But here's our 2 elemental mages for today. We have the earth elemental over on the left, and then we have the air or wind elemental on the right. So that is what we have. Becca says, ooh, that reminds me, I got to do my calendar / goals too. I think I'll do that first, right? Yeah. So if you are setting up goals, not just necessarily for camp / July, but for the whole quarter, this would be a good time to do it because quarter starts tomorrow. Becca says, it's going to be so weird not putting school and homework into your schedule. Yeah, now you can put more writing or whatever else. Sewing, creative projects. Thank you. I'm enjoying the stickers. So, Funky, hello. You made it on a Sunday again. What's going on? What's going on is that I have most of July set up in my bullet journal, but I still have to do my Kanban board for the quarter. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on for part of today. CB says, I'm finishing my lunch. I know it's like 7 p.m. my time, but I'm staying up to write tonight. So I went to the mall, and then when I came home, I had a nap, but to accommodate the nap, I moved lunch to now. So dinner is going to be at 9. Gotcha. Funky says, congrats to Becca. Yes, congratulations. Very much so. Very much so. Also, has everybody been enjoying the AuthorTube Writing Conference? I think the closing chat was going on. If I have my times in my head right. So I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I also I like my schedule. My schedule is nice for me. Hopefully it's also good for y'all, but yeah. So okay. Brain. My brain is not braining. So I did have I had a matcha latte today. But just kind of feeling a little tired. So hopefully just spending some time thinking about goals and how to achieve them will be good. Okay. Well, I meant to pull the top card, but the card underneath it showed up first. So we have the skunk, and it's in the inverse position. We have our cute little skunk and this black-eyed Susan. Let's see, what number? 54. 54. Funky says that calls for coffee when you're feeling tired. It does kind of call for coffee sometimes, but I have been the coffee has not been kind to me lately with the jitters. So I've swapped to matcha lattes this week, or well, I should say most of this week. So Mom Maggie says, I will be over as soon as the AuthorTube Writing Conference ends. You're doing too much today. Oh no! You should put rest on your list. See how long it takes to get you there. All right. So again, here are the elemental mages. We've got earth, maybe gravity if you want to think of it that way. And then you have, I should have put, instead of wind, I should have put flight. Okay, so on the air, ignore where it says wind and think of flight instead of, yeah. So like air and flight. I don't know if I should redo the poll or not, but anyway. As much as you love the air element, I'm an earthy girl, right? Yeah. And also, Mom Maggie says hi to Sai. Look at that. You left everyone likes on the AuthorTube Writing Conference, but you decided not to participate this time. Hey, if you were doing your own thing, and that is perfectly fine. But I'm glad you still took the time to support everybody. That means a lot. We're still not in focus. My camera is struggling today. Either that or my face is. Okay, there we go. And just in time to mess it up again. For the critter for the day, we have the skunk. And again, it was in the inverse or upside down position. So here's our cute little skunk. I love him so much. Anyway, the main message is to know your worth. So again, in the upside down position, not everyone will appreciate you. Many people have issues of their own to address, and you may trigger something in them. But if so, no matter. The skunk calls you to be fully yourself without apology. Now is the time for honesty and admitting that something does not sit right for you. You deserve the self-respect that comes when you Let's try that again. You deserve the self-respect that comes when you courageously choose to stand up for yourself and speak your truth in love. Remember who you are and what really matters to you, and act with integrity. You will be glad that you did so. Yes, you do not have to be everyone's cup of tea all the time or ever. As long as you are your own cup of tea, that is enough. Although sometimes that's hard to do. But yeah, focus on being your own cup of tea, and somebody else doesn't like your cup of tea, that's okay. You can just take it back from them. Anyway, so we have the skunk to bolster ourselves. Knowing your own worth, it's an important lesson. But yeah. Alrighty, y'all. Let's go ahead and get us a timer set up. Timer. I feel like after, I think I've spent several months now using the water timers, so I feel like maybe I should make some new timers with some different sound. I don't know if I should do like bird song, trees, wind. Wind would sound very much like waves in some ways, so I don't know. Make it big, yes. You do have some white stripes these days. So I had a professor that when I had him freshman year of college, he had very bleach blonde hair all over. And he would occasionally come in with like blue hair, and then he would come in with some other color, but most of the time it was bleach blonde. Then I had another class senior year, and didn't realize it was the same professor initially when he walked in until he introduced himself. And then I was like, oh, he looks a lot more normal now. And then the next week he came in and he had it's like a reverse skunk stripe. So he had left the stripe in the middle, dark brown, and then he had bleached both sides. And he said, yeah, my friend said I looked normal. So I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, somebody else had the same opinion. So I don't know if you have those kind of white stripes or just naturally occurring white stripes, but yeah. So there we go. That's my white stripe skunk association. He's a great professor. Loved his classes. Anyway, let's get going. So one, save your document if you have already been working today. If not, now is a fantastic time to pull up whatever it is you think you might be working on, or you may want to pull out a notebook to reflect and scribble down goals for next quarter. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my brainstorming sheet that I had done earlier. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I have one more sticky for this section. Okay. So I have gotten one, two, three, four. I've gotten 4 categories of goals done. I've got one more, which is more like hobby style stuff, things that like more of the crochet flowers and plushies and things. So those are going to be in purple. That looks very blue. But anyway, so I decided to do my writing stickies in like bigger chunks. So instead of like moving 2 stickies every day that I have a stream, doing more of like maybe 1 maybe, or like, anyway, they're in 5K chunks. So it's like doable in a day. But though they would be like stretch goals. So sometimes I might work on them for 2 days rather than just 1. But yeah, that's how we're going. And it's also getting warmer in my room, so up the hair goes. So, and I might add some more of my green stickies. We'll see, depending on, because I'm thinking about making a new tarot journal or planner for myself, and so I might design one that I could put up. Like the previous ones I have are undated, but I'm kind of thinking of making a dated one for next year. We'll see, but that's what I'm going to be playing around with. So that's my green stickies, part of my green stickies, not all of them, but I also had to break into a new pack of stickies just to get the few extra pale yellows that I needed. So I still have some smaller, like I have the purples aren't very many, and I have a couple of greens. I have very, very few of this hot pink left. It's like, compared to this had just like 2 of them taken out. But like that's how so that's how few I have of that hot pink from the first pack. I just keep the pack sort of open so I have something to toss them in. But yeah, so I still have to go back and update my reading journal and double check and see if I can move this last sticky, which I'm pretty sure I can, or if I can go ahead and move some of the stickies that I had anticipated for quarter 3 in that same sort of like bright mango color, that one. So yeah, but on the whole, not too bad. It's not as many like stickies as I have been putting up there, but it feels like each sticky is more of an accomplishment. So I'll try it for this quarter, or at least the start of the quarter. I may have to go back in and add a whole bunch of stickies, but because some days I'm like, oh, I moved 2 stickies, but they don't feel very like, they feel kind of routine rather than like, oh, I feel like I accomplished something. And I would like to have that feeling of like, oh, I accomplished something that's kind of motivating, and like I want to stretch to get the next one. So I'm going to try that this semester, this quarter. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I might go back in like in a couple of weeks, and like you may just see my up here explode with more stickies, and then you'll know what happened. So, but yeah, so there's that. Let me go ahead and pop up the elemental mages again, and like I said, if you are looking at this, I think I like the idea of having air/flight instead of just air/wind. But whatever. If you like air and wind, you can think of it that way. But if you like air and flight, you can think of it that way as well. Because by far at the moment, Earth and gravity are winning by a whole bunch. But yeah, so Friday we had the fire and lightning and water/ice mage. Today we have the earth gravity and air flight situation. But yeah, I still have to make the thumbnails for July. So I need to do that this evening and set up July's streams. I had this, I had these shapeshifters/mage, and then like, again, sort of like a mage pairing as sort of extras because I was having fun making them. So maybe I'll go ahead and toss those up there. But anyway, that is where we are with thumbnails, which is have not done July's yet. But how did we do? I have no idea. I don't know how many stickies I made, so I cannot give you a solid number. But anyway, so Jen popped in and said hello. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Keiko is also here. Hi, hello. And Funky says, Jen, you made it. Yay. That alarm always makes you want a pina colada. Yep, it does. It does. Jen says, how can I miss the chance to torment you, Funky? Melancholic Writer, hello. You're still prepping. That is perfectly fine. Me too. Jen says, nice to see you on a weekend. Same. Weekends are always fun to see people. You wouldn't have it any other way. Becca actually finished your calendar for the month and for the week. Yay! Excellent. I still need to redo my dry erase board, so maybe I'll do that next sprint as well. Because if I don't do it when I think about it, it's going to stay there for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So I need to change it. CB got 155 words. Fantastic. Lovely. Becca, says Jen. And Becca says, hi, Jen. Jen got 586 in around 18 minutes. Nice. Excellent. Funky says, did some editing of the last writing session from last week. Nice. Jen says, I'm so jealous you're done with school, Becca. How close are you, Jen? Do you have like one like semester chunk left, or how many like sessions? Because I think you were also doing 8-week sessions, maybe. Jen said, no. CB says, started working on the prequel to my Camp NaNo project. Nice. Becca says, Jen, it hasn't sunk in yet. And how close are you? Probably a year and a half, depending on how much you hustle. You start a new term tomorrow, but once it's class, but it's one class at a time with the jobs and stuff. Gotcha. Yeah. They're 8-week terms, so it goes by fast. So that is good. That is good. It's awesome deciding to do this at 50. I mean, anytime you want to go back, you can. So, Funky also encouraging you. Yes, you got this. You do, and you love it. You just want to scream sometimes since your work schedule isn't fixed and you often work extra hours. Gotcha. It's a complication in the wrench, doesn't it? Complication in the wrench? Throws a wrench in the situation, adds complications, throws a wrench in it. Why am I trying to like mix up all my idioms? I don't know. Becca says to Jen, that's good pace though, especially with job and life. Yes, yeah. And lol, you love that we both went back to school in our 50s though. Always learning. Yes. Keiko says, remember that shiny new story I had in November? Mm-hmm. That has developed into multiple shiny new stories in the same world. Ooh, nice. Love that when it happens. Yes. CB says, watching the soccer. Not impressed. Oh, no. Jen says, I could honestly just go to school all the time and learn new things. Become a professional student. Professional scholar. Yes. CB says, I wish I could go back to school, but being on welfare complicates matters quite a bit. Yeah. I can see how that would. Keiko says, I'm also trying to use the 27 chapter outline for the newest shiny story. The vibe is cozy fantasy, a bit of comedy, which magical animals, love potions, disasters. Sounds fun. Jen says, I'm looking at loans in my future. I can't afford to pay for it. Yeah. Yeah, I understood that. Your daughter is going as well, but she got a good deal through the state plus college fund from the parents. Yep. 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 Good. A lot of schools like Harvard even offer a bunch of free courses, so you could possibly learn forever. True. There's also because I first heard the term professional student in someone was describing it in kind of like a derogatory way, actually. But I was like, actually, that's kind of smart because there are certain student loans here in the U.S. that do not get you were whoever owns the bank, the government, whoever, they can only start calling it due once you are no longer a student. So as long as you continually enroll, you didn't have to pay anything. And so you had people who were continually in college from 30s to 80s, and they never paid anything because they were always a student. But that becomes risky because if you have a health issue that you then have to take time off, then you become not a student and then it comes due. So I think they have since changed the laws on when and how those loans come due because there were people using that loophole to become professional students for life. So I don't think that happens anymore in that loophole anyway. Becca says lol. Yes. Yeah, I mean, learning forever is always a possibility, especially if you continually read and improve yourself. So or YouTube, University of YouTube, right? CB says, the thing about being on welfare over here is you could go to college and get it funded, but it would affect what welfare you were on. Ooh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. I don't understand that at all. I think it would just be like a reallocation of funds. Like they might take away funds for having an aide come to help you once a week and allocate those funds to paying for the tuition instead. So it's like the money that you would get would be dispersed differently, or they could be like, well, you could potentially earn a degree and then you could potentially earn more, so we're going to give you less because you could potentially earn more later. There's all kinds of ways that they could do it to just screw people over. So professional student. Yes. Yes. It's the UK, elitist, ableist, frustrating. I think that's every government at this point. You would have to work and keep going to school because you're insane, though. I mean, hey, if that's what it takes to get it, that's what you want to do. They limit people here too. Yeah. 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 The whole professional student thing is kind of weird. Jen says, I think I'm going to see how I feel when I graduate and go from there. Also understood. Yes. Keiko's going to go eat dinner. Excellent. Funky says, there's also a ton of content on YouTube alone if you find the right. Yes. University of YouTube. Because you are on welfare and non-employable, loans are not an option. Gotcha. Your advisor got a master's to teach college classes, but I don't know if that's your goal. It's also very hard to get hired to teach at a college because there are so many people who want to do that. So it's sometimes hard to get into. So your sister's on limited income because she took Social Security earlier, and it's so annoying. Why do they limit people? Yeah. Yeah. SS in that instance would probably mean Social Security. So there's I think you can, the normal age is, I want to say 62. It might be 64, and then 62 is the early. Or, I don't know. Anyway, there are some places that allow you to take Social Security early, but it does lower the amount that you would get each month then. So, you want to be an unprofessional student all your life? Yes. Yep. Social Security, she's 60. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so then 64 is probably the typical. You have Udemy as well. Yep, and Skillshare and like. So Social Security, when you have a job, they take taxes out, and part of the taxes is you pay federal taxes, you pay state taxes, you pay for your health insurance, which is a huge chunk, and then a chunk of your money goes into what they call social security, which is a form of retirement money, a form of pension. If you are full-time and your boss / company is also good, they will also pay into a 401k for you, or match what you put in. But yeah, so it's like a government pension. Is that the right way to explain it? I think so. But it is something that you pay into. So it's not like the government is paying you to eventually retire. It's you are paying into it as you work, and the government is holding on to it and investing it and hopefully growing some funds just in cases. But Social Security is essentially, you'll hear people talk about Social Security being in danger because of the population boom after the baby boomers. After World War II, all the soldiers came back. They all had babies. Same thing happened after World War I, but whatever. So you have these large chunks of population, and when the large chunks of population then get older and are then old enough to start taking that retirement or receiving that income from what they had paid in, it then like suddenly starts to draw money from that pool. But after that large chunk of baby boomers stopped working, there's not as many people in the population after them to pay into Social Security. So people are kind of worried about the funding of the long-term funding of Social Security, whether or not it will continue to be a stable source of retirement income. But that's something to worry about later. I don't want to worry about that right now. It's something you pay into through working, and then you collect it when you're older, typically 64, 65. Yeah, so yes, basically retirement. But you also have to be careful because is weird. There are some companies, and there are even some government agencies that don't necessarily pay or don't necessarily automatically take out money to send to Social Security. There are some people or some companies and divisions that like you can opt in or not. So it's like a weird situation where some people opted in, some people didn't. So when they reached the age of 64, 65, they don't have as much coming through Social Security as they anticipated. Things like that. It's a whole rigmarole. Anyway, you did try going back to college, but because of the funding thing, you ended up not going. Gotcha. You'll get more if you do it later. While she still works for the same company you do, she's limited in hours now. Yeah, which means she might not be full-time, which means she is not likely paying as much into Social Security, and they might also not be paying her health insurance. So, depends. I think it's also because she's waiting in an income-based senior apartment, but still, yeah. Yeah. In Germany, you get less of your retirement money when you do it later. Interesting. That's weird. That seems weird. Because essentially, like, you have a pool of money, and if you start taking away from it earlier, then you get less each payment so that the pool lasts longer, typically, is, I think, the reasoning behind that. Jen says, I've worked since I was 16, pretty much, so you have something you hope. I hope so, too. Hopefully you'll still get it when you're tired, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's the... your sister says it's going away fast, which is why she did it. Yeah. So... Geico says, then our retirement system is built on how many active workers there are, and they pay into the retirement system. So like the working people pay the retirement money for, yes, that is essentially what's happening. And because of the shift in the population numbers after the big baby boom, it's going to be a problem. You also retired from a job, so you have that coming in every month. Not a ton, but it's good money for not being, yeah. Yeah, understood that. And that's why everybody's freaked out about not many babies being born. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, because everybody involved in World War II has this issue. So retirement is not as good as it once was. Yeah, agreed. Your dad had an awesome deal with his, but mine, meh. Yeah, that seems to be the case every time. Yeah. Pension part is similar over here. However, if you're disabled in the UK, you get financial assistance, but there are criteria that the government's set, and they review it and change it every so often. Yeah. Yep. Your business doesn't take them out, just your real job. Yeah. In terms of Social Security, yeah. Your grandpa was a truck driver, as far as you remember, and he had an awesome retirement money, but they also had built a house in the 70s, and he still lives there with your aunt and family. Yeah. And there are some jobs, like over here, the truckers are often unionized, and it's one of the few strong unions that are left, labor unions. So, yeah. Exactly. Smart man. There's a huge stigma attached to being on welfare. There is everywhere. There is everywhere. Yeah, they want people on disability to get employment, but they won't fund the infrastructure properly, especially for people in your situation. Yeah. It's a mess. It's all a mess. Same problem in Germany. Yep. Don't get you started on disability. Yeah. Kat is here. Hello. Welcome. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Cat's chaos? What catty chaos are you getting up to today? Jen says, hey, Kat, how are you? Elizabeth also says, hello. Hello. Welcome. All right. We will also go ahead and shift into another sprinty sprint. This one being the self-promo sprint. So if you have something that you would like to promote, make sure that you do so during the section of the stream. So if you have a YouTube, if you have a Twitch, if you have a Amazon author account, if you have a Etsy shop, if you have a blog, if you have social media, if you have a full-blown website, whatever it is, as long as it is writing adjacent, let us know. And especially if you have books out soon, books out recently, or books on sale, make sure that we know where to find your books. What else? I think that's it. Okay. So 1, save your document and or your brainstorm and or whatever productivity thing you are working on. If you can save it, save it. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4, yeah, John Oliver always puts kind of a comedic spin on even terrible, terrible things. Anyway, 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How we doing? I finished brainstorming another section of goals, put that up, filled in the empty space that was up top, redid my dry erase board, added some lunar events to my weekly calendars, like the full and new moons and quarter moons and all that kind of stuff. Went ahead and finished the quote page. So I've Fill Your Writing with the Breathings of Your Heart as my quote for the month. And then I went ahead and set up a small to-do list for tomorrow. Although I'm not in love with that orangey color. I thought it was maybe more mustardy, but it's a little more orange. So I may change up. I'll use it for this week, but I may change up which color I use for the sort of like day marker. But that's for later. I shall deal with that later. But for right now, doing good. Decided on a slightly more green color. Those are very similar, but slightly more sort of like brighter, slightly more tealy colored for sort of like standout things to put in the weekly boxes instead of just the same blue. That way they'll stand out a little bit more and sort of like, hey, this is not quite the same as the others. Just very minimal, small things. So I got that. Decided I was going to draw a little icon for water consumption at the bottom of each of my daily boxes up top, just so I can continue to make sure that I am hydrated. I'll just use like a stroke count for that. Excuse me. Whew, excuse me. But yeah, so that's what I did. Didn't feel like a whole lot, but I got some extra goals on the board, and made sure that my list for tomorrow is good to go. I don't know if I'm sure that my eyes are not that unfocused, but like, why? It's trying so hard, and yet somehow, there we go. Okay. I don't know what it's focusing on. Probably just because I put my bullet journal up to the camera and was like, oh, we're supposed to focus on that. Anyway. Megan is here. Hello. Let's see. Got your booster vaccine yesterday, and your internet is also working again. Yay. Yes, don't forget to do your self-promo. CB's self-promo is there is now a new one-shot prequel to your Camp NaNo project on your Archive of Our Own page, the link to which can be found under CB's YouTube About page. Kara says that booster vaccine flattened you for several days. I couldn't even put laundry in the washer without help. Oh no. Yeah, that was... I think the very first one I got was the worst one. And it was sort of like a combination of factors because it gave me a fever about 11 or 12 hours after, which meant that it was like at 1 o'clock in the morning when I was like suddenly shaking with the chills. But it was also, so I waited to get until they released permission for people to get the Johnson & Johnson one, which was a single shot instead of like a pair. And then, so I got it. I had to drive to a different town to get it because nobody in my town had like because we were doing it like appointment wise. Nobody in my town had an appointment that would also have the J&J. Anyway, so I drove to a small town to get it. And then, so I got the fever, but it was also that night was when they put a pause on the distribution and the shots for J&J because a couple of women had blood clots. So I was like sitting there, my leg was cramping, had fevers, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna die. But I was also trying desperately not to wake my parents up because they were also tired. And so I just had to keep going to the kitchen every once in a while in between brief snatches of sleep and taking my temperature and noting it down. So yeah, that was the first COVID booster that I got. But I was just like, what do I do? Just try and get better. So yeah, anyway, that was just that was the first vaccine I got. The ones after that, I have not. I've felt maybe sort of like a kind of fatigue, like Megan said. Here, like just fatigue. But the first one was a doozy. First one was a real doozy. Yeah. So I would agree with Megan. That sounds like no fun to Kara in terms of having the booster flatten you for a couple days. The booster always drags Mom Maggie down for a few days as well. That sucks. It's like it feels somehow so wrong to feel terrible so that you don't feel worse. But yeah. Anyway, Felicia, hello, welcome. Tessa says hello. Jen says hey to Tessa. Kara says, sigh, story of my life. My browser crashed. Oh no. Oh. Jen got 787. Nice. Excellent. Funky says to Tessa, fancy seeing you here. Hello. Jen is excited to see Mama Maggie. Yes. Funky says, got some of the scene written, but this is an emotionally tough one, so it's tough to write. Yeah. But there's some of those too. But they're some of the best scenes, though. So, Becca started writing out all of your TikToks for the next couple of weeks. Since you have a guest coming this week and the next week you're going to London, you want to make sure that you're still posting every day. Yes, you want to have a backlog to post. Jen says, I feel that in response to Funky's comment about the emotionally tough scenes. Tessa is working on your 8-word prompt for the day and also says hi to Funky. So pretty. Yes, I think this is in regards to the stickers. I have one left over. I have one sticker left from the PET tape. And since I forgot to do a full spread monthly calendar, I am debating like going ahead and making one and just sticking this on it. That way I can be like done with them. But yeah, I still have a roll of pink. So I've used up the blue-green ones, and now I've used up the yellow. But I still have the roll of pink accented windows. So CB got 67 words. You also read some Harry Potter fanfic. Nice. Tessa says hi to Jen. Arbor is here. Arbor Sloan, hello. Welcome. You got a scene written. Yay! But it was kind of like pulling teeth. Oh no, but you did it. You did it, though, which is good. Tessa won 2 of the bingo games. All right. Excellent. Good. When this is done, Anna is going to be streaming for a bit, says Jen to Tessa. Were you on one of those spreads? Was somebody playing bingo? I think Tessa was playing bingo at home, so at her place. Funky says, send some cash and prizes my way for bingo. I'm kind of excited because now that I know that there are some of the like pubs, cafes. It's like a mixture of food and drink places here in town. They do have bingo nights, but it's only during the main semester, so they don't have it during the summer semester. So I'm kind of excited for that to start back in about a month. So I might try one of the bingo nights there and see if I can win some prizes. Tessa says, I think I finally got my name to stay on Google. It's been a few days and it's still there this time. Good. Cross our fingers for it. Jen says, hi, Megan. How are you? Funky says, I promote Jen's new hair color. Yes. Postage would cost you more than your winnings to send it. Also true. Yep. Melancholic Writer is working on a mood board for Project Puppet Chest. Ooh, that sounds fun. And you're going to be posting the mood board on Tumblr. Fun. CB says it's a good idea for the water jar. Yeah. I get out of the habit and then I fall off of like actually consuming liquids. So I always have to like keep going back to remind myself, which is not great. Funky says, I accept pigeon mail. You're cooking an omelet and crisping shredded cheese to wrap it in. Ooh, you have guacamole to go inside as well. Nice. Jen says, I want you to be my personal chef, Mom Maggie. Tessa's like, ew, pigeons. Yeah. Jen says, I haven't had one of those, the boosters, in a minute. Probably should since you work with people. A client had it recently. Yeah, you should look into seeing how recently you've had yours. I need to double check mine and make sure I put it on the calendar because I think I'm nearing a 6-month milestone. I think. Double check that. I have the card. I keep telling them I keep carrying the same card, so I have it like a full record of like when I got my last one. So CB says, you would think I would be eligible for a booster since I get care, but no. Really? That's fresh. You never got a COVID booster. Well, hopefully you and those around you stay very healthy. So that's. Mom Maggie says, I get jabbed like I'm getting a tattoo every yearly physical. Yeah, you usually get the Moderna. I think at this point I've had both the Pfizer, I've had the J&J. I don't know if I've had the Moderna, but I think I've had the other two. So, a raven male. The ravens just might take it though. They want you to do the shingles booster since you're old, but you don't want to be sick from it. My parents both got the shingles booster. And I think it's probably a good thing they did. Because both of them are in some ways immunocompromised or not immunocompromised. What's the other? It's not immunodeficient? No. I don't remember what the right term is that I'm searching for in my brain. You got the AstraZeneca one because of the migraines. Gotcha. Okay. I think it's just a day of yuckiness. Yeah. Your coworkers got shingles this year and it's absolutely miserable and do not recommend. Yeah, my sister-in-law actually got it, and she's in her 30s. But she's a primary care physician, so she might have been exposed to adults or children with chickenpox. So, yeah. But yeah, she did not have a fun time with that. So, better but fresh out of ravens. You would work through it. Yeah. Last time you got a booster, you couldn't lift your arm for a day, but other than that, you were fine. Gotcha. Okay. You get the flu, pneumonia, shingles, RSV booster every year so you don't die. Probably a good plan. You have muscle damage in your arm, which apparently only happens to a very small percentage of people. Oh, so you can't get them anymore. Oh, you have to stay home, so you have to wear masks everywhere still. Yeah, we still typically do when we go into the stores, put a mask on. So, yeah. If you're going to Houston next year, you'll be paying for the COVID booster and the flu shot because family members who live there are immunocompromised. Yeah. Yeah. You saw Anna, but you were on your way out to dinner. Gotcha. Okay. You were exhausted after all three. Yeah, it happens. You live on a farm and you're exposed to all kinds of dirty animals and never get sick until you go to town and someone coughs or sneezes near you. Yeah. Yeah. You were glad not to have your cancer spread, but the damage to your immune system from the chemo has never gone away. Yeah. That's what I understand, that chemo does some real permanent changes to people. So, Funky says, I need notebook recommendations to use as a mood board. It doesn't need a lot of pages, but needs to open flat and be big enough to post pictures and clip outs, etc. So you want something that's maybe like a, well, B5 I think is the biggest typical notebook, right? I think that's right. But yeah, the lay flat is important for sure. And then also I like the binder clips that are sort of like hollow looking, because that way you can still see most of what's on the page, but it holds it a little flatter for you. So, you know, things like that. Small things. Accessories. You're playing bingo, but you saw Anna when you searched for the stream. You got the shingles booster and you did not have a major problem with it. That's good. That's good. Thankfully, CB doesn't have diabetes or asthma or anything else, so excellent. You got shingles because a little boy at the hospital emergency room hugged you. Oh no. His granny and you had the same sweatshirt. Oh, so he mistook you. He had the chicken pox so bad, and his mom had never had him vaxxed for it. Yeah. Yep. You got COVID once, and all you had was a headache and flu-like symptoms. Good. Good. Immunosuppressed? Maybe. Maybe that's the term. I don't remember. Poor boy was polka dotted like a Dalmatian. Oh. Yeah. No, I remember vague snippets of having chickenpox as a kid. But my parents were so over it because I have a brother who's a year and a half older than me. So he got it first from daycare or kindergarten or wherever. And so he was sick for a week and a half or however long it was. And then like either the day that he went back or like there was like a 1 or 2 day window somewhere, then I got it. And so they had just done a whole like week of just taking care of him and him being fussy because chickenpox, and then I got it. And as a like, oh, you're sick, here, poor baby, here, have a stuffed animal, I got a modeled orange and green Triceratops stuffed animal. But it had a squeaker, and it was one of those that you could like hug, and then when you let go, it would like make a sound. Anyway, I played with that thing, and I learned how to make it like hysterically cry and hiccup, as children with the squeaker toy do, as dogs do. But yeah, so I learned how to make it cry, and then by the end of that week that I was sick, the Triceratops needed to go in the wash because it had all of the chickenpox germs on it. It needed to go in the wash. And when I got it back, it no longer squeaked. It no longer squeaked. The water damage. Pretty sure they cut the squeaker out. I'm pretty sure they cut the squeaker out and then sewed it back up. So, you know, chickenpox and kids with squeaker toys, maybe not a great combination, but yeah. Anyway, you want to read my office supplies? So I got one that has purple and green, and I think I have a couple of gold, like maybe 1 or 2 gold, and I think I have a blue one as well, sort of like in the same color vein. But yeah, so I've got these. I just keep a purple and a green out because those are colors that I typically use a lot. So, you know. All right. Let's go ahead and do another sprint because it's nearly 4 o'clock. Do, 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 do. We did the waterfall, so let's do the babbling brook. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Also, don't forget to vote on which elemental mage for today. The earth or gravity one, and then the air/flight or wind one. Yes, sprint. Sprint, sprint. Jen says, I wonder if I'd actually be organized with a setup like that. I'm not. I mean, I like having the accessories, but you know, they're not a cure-all for sure. Those in the light-up shoes were the best. When yours was a tot. Yes. Yes, yes. All right. Let's get going. So 1, save your document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back, that posture check. Make sure that you're not slouching too much. And 4, make sure if you need a break, take a break. Hello, Becky. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, hopefully I don't have ink on my nose. I've been updating my reading journal, and like I'm getting bad again about not finishing stuff, about just reading like webtoons, web novels, translated things that like aren't quite finished. And then like, so I need to make sure that I'm finishing things and starting things that are already completed and like reading them to completion. I've got a couple of things that I have DNF'd. A couple of things that I still am updating, but anyway, so so I can move this orange sticky as part of quarter 2, finishing that. But yeah, so so I've updated. I had 4 more things that I started, one of which I had, 2 of which I had finished, so I can move another one of those. Then I went back and I added some notes to a couple of these that I am DNFing. And then I went back and I was marking things off the bingo boards. So as of right now, nope, that one needs to be marked off too. Which also means the other side can be marked off. So as of right now, I only have two more tropes on the romance bingo board to get done. And then I have 3 genres that I had on my bingo board that I have not read yet. So I have a pen pal or email or like epistolary novel, not epistolary. Anyway, pen pal or email romance. Then I also have jilted love on there. And then over on the genres, I still have to read something that I would consider flash fiction, a collection of poetry, and a cozy mystery. So those are the only 3. So in July, I think I want to try and zero out the bingo boards so I can create some new bingo boards for myself. And then I also need to really, really work on this poor domestic challenge. It's just been pathetic how little I have done from domestic readers. My A to Z challenge is coming along nicely. I still have to update it, but it's coming along rather nicely. And then I will start to choose books based on titles, trying to finish those. I still am doing terribly at my series reads. Again, terrible at that. And I still have not done great on my like already owned physical shelves. So that's okay, but this was just like me. And then I have a couple in there for fiction and then nonfiction and collections. So but yeah, that's where we're at. I have to double check some of the cover colors and see if I've got one that I can, because I don't have any purple covers that were like mainly purple. I have some for all of the other colors, so I also will be on the lookout in July for a purple cover so that I can mark that off and have at least one full level of rainbow across the covers. And then I've gotten into the point of the 52 book challenge where like I have some kind of odd ones left. So like locked room mystery. Maybe I can find a cozy mystery that also has a locked room. If you have a recommendation, let me know. And then I have women in STEM. That shouldn't be too terrible. I probably have something on my shelf that I can use for that. Features the ocean. Again, I probably have something that I can use to mark that off. Title starts with a K. Title starts with an L. The L one I've kind of already used, but like I don't know if I should mark it off as well because I used it for a different. I used that title for a different different prompt. Academic thriller I can mark off. That's one of the ones I just finished. Where's my? There it is. Excellent. Yay. So things like that. But yeah, how are we doing? Don't forget to do the self promo if you missed it during the second chance or during the second sprinty sprint. Becky says, got close to 5,000 words yesterday, so I have no idea how this is about to go today. Good luck. Tessa was headed out. Oh, where is it? Should I close it? I must have. Kara asked me to share the picture again for the elemental mages. So there's the picture. Your teacher only got a portion of your essay. Oh no, strange. You asked if you could send in the rest, but you still have a B, so maybe not too big of a deal. Maybe. Elizabeth is also going to go. Family time. See you tomorrow for the start of quarter 3. Same. No, we have one more sprint, Maya. We have one more sprint. Kara says, I didn't think I would write today, but I did some planning and then got 262 words written. Excellent. 767. Nice. You think you've met your goal today? Even better. Even better. CB says, I'm watching Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire and reading some fanfic as well. Nice. Mom Maggie says, oops, almost missed because you were eating. That's okay. Funky says, shoo, that was tough. Rough. Tapping into horrific thoughts can take a lot out of you. Agreed. Mom Maggie has a link for us for self-promo. The Swords of Etheria, number 9 of the Relic of Time Wars, releases July 10th. Ooh, and here's the pre-order link. Excellent. Jen says, absolutely funky in terms of the rough writing. You want to read it? Becky got 347 words and the scene is finished. Yay! Another to finish before hitting your Camp NaNo prep goal. Excellent. Funky says to Jen, hopefully this summer I can finish the final version. The final version? How many finals are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, final version. There we go. Okay, the Huntsman of Anamos prequel quartet and the first 3 of the Relic of Time Wars is 99 cents this weekend. The rest are on sale next week. Ooh, exciting. So excited for camp. Yes. In regards to women in STEM prompt, you have a savant and a physicist as a main character in number 3 of the Relic of Time Wars. I'm trying to remember if I have that one as an ebook or not already. I'll double check my my Kindle app and see if I already have it. In that case, I can read it. Courtney says, hello, joining in late. Excellent, welcome. 1 by 1 by Ruth Ware has a good locked room mystery. Okay, let me jot that down because I know I don't have that many mysteries. Excellent. Okay. The class got the whole essay in their post. Oh. I don't know then. Maybe she graded that. She or he. Whatever. You chose GOF, Goblet of Fire, because that's when the story you're working on is set. Gotcha. It's called Cretaceous Conspiracy, and it starts when Daisy is a child. Do I have that one? I don't know. I want to double check. Funky's Gotta Go. All right. And I also heard the very first thunder for the afternoon. So hopefully we aren't going to get kicked off. But that will prompt me to get us another sprint going. And I think we'll do, it's 4:40, so I think we'll do a 25 just to kind of wrap us up. So this will take us just a little bit over the top of the hour. But here we are. Murder on the Orient Express. I think I have that one. Do I have that one still? Or do I have the, and then there were 10. Anyway, I'll double check. I might have that one and not have read it yet, so I'll double check. Anyway, thank you very much for the for the recs about the locked rooms, because I don't read as much mystery as I probably should. Anyway, 1, let's save our documents and or whatever it is that we are working on. 2, make sure that if you have something to hydrate with, you go ahead and take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How did that go? I managed to get 567 words after I finished updating my reading journal. Let me add that to. So yeah, that's where we are. So progress. Oh, I never changed my blocks back there. Whoopsies. Ignore that. Yeah. So that is where we are. How did we do? Did we do okay? Are we finishing June with a decent amount of work? Are we finishing Q2 with at least some of what we wanted to accomplish done? That is the question. I always plan more for myself than I seem to get done, but I always have high hopes. So, you know. Angela popped in and said, "Yay, sprints!" JL is here. Hello. Hey everybody. Love the streaming water sound. How's it going today? It's going pretty good. Pretty good. I got my Kanban board reset for tomorrow. I've got a to-do list for tomorrow. Things like that. We're doing good. You have 28 pages of revisions left. Nice. Excellent. Becca says, still working on prepping TikToks for the next 2 weeks. Good. Get it done. Jen got 795 words. Nice. CB read another fanfic where Harry's aunt and cousin have magic and he meets Hermione before Hogwarts. Kara says, mostly tried to get organized for the coming week. Good. Organization is important. CB says, today's your mother's birthday. She turned 70, which she can't quite believe. Nice. Yeah, that's mom turned 70 this year as well. So she's adjusting for sure. CB says, I vividly remember my maternal grandmother's 70th. We threw her a surprise party. You were 9 at the time. Nice. Mom Maggie says, applied for copay assistance for the youngest child's new medication. Good. Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and make sure we save our documents one last time. And also the poll, the picture poll. So Friday, we had the fire and lightning versus the water and ice. Today we have the earth and gravity versus air and wind or air and flight. And earth and gravity have won with a 64 to 36%. So probably has nothing to do with the fact that most of us really like Toph from Avatar the Airbender and her sassy attitude. Or maybe it does. Who knows? But yeah. So there we go. There is our winner for today. All right, y'all. Thank you very much for joining me today. Becky says, whatever 166 plus 137 is. 166 plus 137. 303. That's what that is. Your mother turned 85 on the 15th. Congrats. She had me when she was 60. Mm-hmm. That's what a couple of my friends and I, we had a joke that we were turning 21 for the nth time in just however many. But at some point we were just like, yeah, maybe we should up it to like 25. We're 30. Or slowly back it up or move it forward, I mean. But yeah. Becky says, I'm an ageless cryptid. I like that. Yes. But anyway, I will hopefully see y'all tomorrow for Camp NaNo for July, for summer, for quarter 3, however you want to look at it, for a new week. What week are we going to be in? We're going to be in week 27 of the year. So that's where we are. All right, y'all. Thank you. Thank you for spending some time with me on your Sunday afternoon, evening, or whatever time zone it is. So thank you again. Don't forget to save. Don't forget to sip, stretch, do all the fun stuff, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will see y'all hopefully tomorrow. All right. Bye.